All right. And one more thing. Need to, good, everybody's muted. All right. So we are going to get started. This is our second week. There we go. Catherine, nod head up and down if you can see the PowerPoint and it looks. I can't hear you.
So I see a big black, oh, there it went. Then it just moved. Okay. It's a little blurry looking, but other than that, I can see it.
Okay, and if I do this, it jumps to the next slide.
Yeah, it's blurry looking.
Huh, okay. Well,
I can still read it, but it's just kind of blurry.
Yeah, hopefully the recording comes out clear. Okay, well, we'll go with it. Let me pull my chat up. That way you guys can message me if you need have questions, or feel free to just like unmute yourself. And yeah. All right. So we are doing whole health class again tonight. For those of you who were here last week, we talked about Core 4. We talked about the health bank account. We're going to go over that again. We're going to tell a couple different stories about the health bank account. And yeah, Janelle got on. Yay. Okay, that was the one who was saying that she couldn't. Hi, Janelle.
Hi.
I'm going to mute you because I'm doing the recording. So.
Okay.
Mute. There we go. Okay. Okay, Janelle, if you have questions, just feel free to pop it in the chat and I will answer it that way, or you can unmute yourself. So my slide didn't go. There we go. Okay, so the next, so tonight we're going to talk about who I am a little bit more. We're going to talk more about my husband's story with Pure than my story with Pure. So if you're curious more about my story, that will be on last week's recording, which we can send you. We're going to talk about the health bank account and how it leads to disease and how we supplement the health bank account. All in all, I hope that this will last about 30 minutes. So I will talk about, I am Valerie Grave, and I am a licensed physician assistant. Together with Catherine, we're bringing you these classes every other Thursday. And we are both physician assistants, both licensed. Both of us have spent a lot of time in urgent care and family practice. Catherine also has done quite a bit in wound care. And for those of you who aren't, in the health world, and what does that mean? That means that in urgent care, we deal with fairly healthy people most of the time. In wound care, we deal with really unhealthy people all the time. So that's like most of the wounds are from diabetes or just poor infections, just really poor health. But in urgent care, a lot of you all have probably been to the urgent care for something or other. And yeah, so all spectrums of health. So last week I told my story and how the Pure products really helped me with that. After I had been taking the Pure products for about 6 months, my husband really started to kind of perk up and say, what are you doing and how can I do that too? And he really started with the SuperFruits, which is something that we're going to talk about tonight, and Sulfur, which I think Catherine will agree with me. I don't know that we'll go a night without talking about Sulfur because it's so important. So he started taking Sulfur and the SuperFruits and Daily Build and the GPS line, which is what the other thing that we're going to talk about tonight. And he was at the time working a job that required him to drive for long hours He would drive like 6 or 7 hours, then have to work for like 2 pretty laborious. He was, doing hydraulics for people. And so he had to go in and what am I trying to say? Like work on their machines for them, crawl under the tractor, whatever it was, the dump truck that wasn't like their hydraulic lift wasn't working. He would have to climb up in there after driving for long periods of time. Needless to say, it was very, other days he was then in the office, just kind of sitting around. And so it wasn't like he was in shape to do these things. He had a lot of energy issues. And at the time that he started on the products, he was seeing an orthopedic surgeon and getting cortisone injections into his shoulder. And they were talking about doing a laparoscopic exploratory surgery on his shoulder because they didn't see anything necessarily wrong with it, but he had a lot of pain. And like he would talk about, he could lift 50 pounds if he got his shoulder into the right, like boxing a pen in the wrong direction was just excruciatingly painful. So he started on the products. I started him specifically on Mangosteen, Acai, and Sulfur, and then the GPS line, the whole GPS line. And we'll get into why I started those. But within 1 month, he stopped going to the orthopedic surgeon. He didn't have any more cortisone injections, and he has never had to go and get his shoulder worked on and never complained about it since. His knee, which he also had surgery on, like I did when we were younger. He tore his ACL when he was in college playing basketball, and he's always had pain from it. He's never fully healed properly. And he now tells me that he has no pain in his knee that he had surgery on. So he was discussing with that orthopedic surgeon that if the shoulder surgery went well, he would want that surgeon to go back and redo his knee because it caused him so much pain. And he has never, since we've moved to Yankton, which was 2 years ago, even sought out the care of an orthopedic surgeon because he doesn't need it. The other thing that he really noticed with being a sedentary job that was then sometimes very laborious, he was actually gaining kind of like a dad bod type of body. And he would go work out maybe 2 to 3 times a week. When he started the GPS line, we used it pretty strategically. He would take kind of a pre-workout sort of supplement on the road about an hour before he got to where he was going. And he was and think, and he would get through his jobs a lot faster. And his clients even reported to him that it didn't seem like he had just sat in the car for 3 or 4 hours or 6 hours or however long it had taken him to get there. And then he actually, which for men, it's so funny because they always want to gain weight, but he gained about 10 pounds of muscle, and his pants that he had to be getting a bigger size, he actually went back down a pant size. So I don't really know, what his waist measurements or body measurements were because we didn't take those, but just gaining weight for a man and being in smaller pants when you gained weight means that you probably, shifted your weight into muscle. So that's my husband's story with the products. We're going to go into the health bank account now, and I'll tell a couple more stories throughout the night. Okay, so I think Danelle's the only new one here, but last week, what did I do? We talked about the health bank account, but it all really centers on the idea that God made us perfect as we are. And if we aren't perfect, he made things that grow up and out of the ground or are naturally in the ground to fix our bodies. I love this. No longer treat the human frame with drugs, but will rather cure and prevent disease with nutrition. And that's like 100% what Pure is all about. So the idea behind the health bank account is that we need to think of our health like a bank account. We have a certain amount of withdrawals that we take out every single day. And that's just the fuel that it takes to be you. And then every now and then you'll have larger withdrawals. Last week I talked about pregnancy being a pretty big withdrawal. But since we're kind of talking about my husband, his surgery on his knee was a pretty big withdrawal, chronic stress. Some athletes that work out too much, that can be a large withdrawal. But even if we don't have big withdrawals, every single day we're taking out of the health bank account. And if we're not putting back into the health bank account what we're taking back, slowly over time, we will get in the negative in our health bank account. Warning signs that we're getting a low health bank account. Some of the big ones are excess weight, which my husband had, pain in his joints, pain really anywhere, but the big ones are joints. Low energy and moodiness. The thing that I wrote down here, I did this talk and I didn't record it, was that, I don't know about you, Catherine, but I thought about this. So many people would come into the urgent care and say, I get sick all the time. Like, what's wrong with me? I'm always sick. And I would just kind of be like, I don't know, you must be in contact with a lot of germs, is kind of what I originally thought. And now I know so much better. No, that is a warning sign that your health bank account is low. And so that infertility is a warning sign, frequent illness, I wrote down, skin issues. I think energy is one that we can all I was thinking about that too, I think as a society, we all think that it's pretty normal to have low energy. And in the past 2 years of using Pure, I've learned that shouldn't be a normal thing. If we're sleeping well, if we are, eating proper amounts of calories, we shouldn't be tired. Of us are. I know so many people, I do their intake when they become my client, I do their intake and I ask how much coffee they drink. And it is so normal to hear 4 to 5 cups a day, like drinking coffee until 2 p.m. basically. Catherine's nodding her head because, yep, I hear that all the time. Anyways, the big takeaway from this is that just because we are not sick does not equal that we are healthy. And that is huge. Like, if I could just say one thing, just because you're not sick does not mean that you are healthy. Janelle says that seems like a lot of coffee. It does. It is. It's like a full pot if you think about 4 to 5 cups. And it's totally normal for people to be drinking that much. So once our health bank account is low and we get those warning signs, then people ignore the warning signs and then they end up with a diagnosis. One that Catherine and I have been talking about a lot this week is like rheumatoid arthritis. Thyroid disease is one that I've actually, not just from Catherine, I've oddly enough heard 3 or 4 of my downlines have asked me about thyroid specifically. And I just had a customer that just started and she has thyroid disease. And maybe, was it you, Catherine, that said, somewhere I recently heard this statistic this week that 90% of thyroid disease is thought to be autoimmune from Hashimoto's. And so autoimmune disorder is a diagnosis. Anyways, disease. Low health bank account leads to disease. Okay, so when we ignore the warning signs, we end up with a diagnosis. And when we get a diagnosis, then we go into the doctor and the doctor gives us medicine, and medicine is expensive. Last week, I told the story of my mother-in-law who is taking a medication named Victoza. Give me one second. Hey, there's my mom. I'm going to mute you, Mom.
Okay.
So last week I told the story of my mother-in-law who's taking a medication, and the medication costs her $50 every 3 months until she falls into the donut hole, and then she pays $250 per month for the medication. So all in all, she guessed that for this one medication, she was paying about $500 a year. And so that just goes to show you that ignoring a health bank account that is getting low and then going to the doctor and taking medication for the disease that comes from a low bank account is expensive. And so if we can do anything that we can to reduce that expense, then we can save money in the long run. Okay. So we can either pay to be sick or invest in wellness. What do you want from your body? What do you want to change? And are you willing to do something? Yeah, Catherine said also the side effects of Victoza. That's something that really needs to be thought about. Most of the herbs and supplements that grow out of the ground have very little side effects. There's one that I'll get to today that we actually talked about in our herbal course this week that I didn't realize how A, good it was, and B, how little side effects that it had compared to the medicines that you might get from the doctor's office. This is my second low health bank account, is what I'm saying, Janelle. So what I'm talking about is we all have a health bank account, and that's how I like to think about supplements is our health bank account. And so it's the same concept as a, financial bank account. There's just really no way to say, oh, look, I put 100 into my bank account today so I can have an Oreo and stay up an hour late. There's no way of knowing that, but we do get these warning signs that then turn into disease. So, this is my time to make my legal disclaimer that none of the products that I talk about here can I say that they treat, cure, or heal anything. And the reason for that is because there has not been a double-blinded placebo study on anything done here. And when Catherine and I went to school, we learned about up-to-date medicine is what they call it, or why can I never come up with the other name for it? Catherine, help me out. Medscape, I'm thinking like up-to-date medicine is what they call it, or anyways, it's medicine based off of the study, evidence-based medicine. Thank you. That's the word I'm looking for. And evidence-based medicine means that whatever we're doing, whether we're prescribing something, doing, even the way that you suture there's been a double-blinded placebo study on it. The way that you interview a patient, there's been double-blinded placebo studies on all of this. When you're in medicine, and that sounds great. And when I was in medical school, I thought that's awesome. I love that. I want to be so versed on the studies that, I could never get it wrong. And the reason that it is so versed in studies is for legal reasons. And none of the pure products, I shouldn't say none of them because some of them have, but they haven't been double-blinded placebo studied. And the reason really for that is that double-blinded placebo studies are expensive and you have to pay for that expense up front. So if you have a medication, say lisinopril, for example, that you're bringing to market, you have to pay for this study up front. And there is a lot of risk for corruption in that, because if your medicine doesn't make it to market and you don't get paid back, then you're out money. And so I personally believe that there's more trust for me in products that I can say, Tom and Sally and Sue have all had success with this, not necessarily with a double-blinded placebo study. That's my legal disclaimer. Last week, we played this video of Dr. Bucky Buckerson. He talks about Pure's philosophy of cleanse, balance, and build. And we're not going to play it this week because we're going to play different videos this week. But this is kind of the backbone behind not only Pure, but as I'm learning in homeopathy, cleanse is to cleanse out any toxins that may have accumulated specifically in the colon. But the cleanse that we have is, I'm going to go on because the next slide is about cleanse. The cleanse that we have, maybe the next slide. Maybe 5 slides more. There we go. So the cleanse that we have is, it's an herbal supplement, and it will cleanse the bowel without giving the diarrhea that people think of when they take a laxative. So it's a gentle cleansing, and the more you use it, the less it works actually. So we recommend that you take this for about 1 week, and then you get off of it for about 3 months, and it will help you to have soft, non-painful bowel movements. It helps to detoxify the body. So that's what I'm going to say about that. Most of our packs, when we get to the packs, come with cleanse free because it is the backbone. It's needed in the body, but it's not necessarily the most expensive and the most, what am I trying to say? Financially lucrative for the company. So they tend to just kind of give it with their packs. Goji, again, I'm not going to spend a ton of time on this because I want to talk about the SuperFruits and the GPS line this week. We talked about Goji last week. It's the balancer. It's got traditional Chinese medicine and herbal supplements to balance the mood and just really help with everyday stress that we all go through. And it also tastes great. It has some of the superfruits that we're going to talk about actually in it. It has mangosteen in it. So that is Goji. Welcome. I'm going to mute whoever just came in. That was Janelle. Oh, she muted herself. Very awesome. All right. Daily Build is the next one in kind of the pillars of Pure. Daily Build is more than a multivitamin, but it's I always just kind of reference it as like, that's the multivitamin. It comes in liquid and pills. We're out of the liquid right now, but most of the time I recommend people start on the pills anyway because it doesn't taste that great. It has so much stuff in it. I can't even like say all of it, but everything that you could possibly need. The big one that I've been looking into recently is selenium. It has your daily need of selenium or selenium. And there's a lot of research going into selenium deficiency and COVID. So that's why I've been looking into it lately, but it's got so much more in it. So Cleanse, Balance, and Build is kind of the backbone of Pure's philosophy. The other thing that you'll get with most packs is called Energy. Energy is a low acidic coffee, and it gives you energy, if you will, and it is not full of sugar. So that's it. Sulfur. Catherine, did you want to tell a story about sulfur?
Yeah, I mean, I can definitely tell many stories about sulfur. I think last week I shared my personal story on sulfur. I know my husband John's been taking it, and he has a bum shoulder, a bum hamstring, that's been bothering him for who knows how long. And so he started taking it kind of because I was like, hey, this might help your pains and aches and pains. And so, yeah, those went like impressively are not bothering him anymore. And then he also has climbed Castle Peak, which was like an almost 12,000 foot peak. And he had been routinely on sulfur, and he didn't get sore after climbing a 12,000 foot peak, which was like, what? He's usually at GIMP for like 3 days. And then, most recently he he went on hunting trips. He's also, those are kind of the two main ones. And then with his own personal health, he's been going through some stuff, and it has been tremendously healing for him. And we'll just keep it at that. And he's also lost 10 pounds. He has also been on a couple other things with the Pure line, but he just says, I am feeling so much better.
Yes. So Sulfur is one that I said I'm going to go into it literally every week because it's so important. I would say Catherine and I both agree that it's our number one product that Pure sells. And what it is an element on the periodic table. I read different statistics on whether it's the number 3 or the number 9 or the number 6 element that every body needs. But our soil is depleted of sulfur. And so most people are deficient in sulfur, as they are other things. And sulfur is needed to maintain the permeability of the cell wall. So you can imagine all of the multitude of things that are helped by using sulfur, because every cell in the body would be helped by it. So the big things that Catherine and I have both touched on is joint pain. That's probably the most noticeable. But I have many people who have started on sulfur and said like they lost weight because it does have a detoxifying effect. So it helps your body process the fat because the cell wall is more permeable. It helps with allergies because not only is your cell wall not as because your cell wall is more permeable, but it also is properly permeable. So the histamines and the proteins in, say, your flowers and your wheats and the grasses are not going to permeate the mucous membrane in your nose. Similarly, you'll have less food allergies because it'll help your gut strength. It helps your skin. Catherine and I can both attest to the fact that our skin cleared up when we got on sulfur, less acne. So I could go on. I literally could continue to go on, but I'm not going to. Sulfur comes either in a pill form like this, which is what I start most people on, and you're wanting to titrate up on it. So that's why I start you on the pill, and then it will also come in a tub, which I don't have right here because Mike and I almost ran out of sulfur. I ordered some today. What? Anyways, so it'll come in a tub, which is what you're going to want to graduate to after you've kind of titrated up on the pills. So that's sulfur. The next one we're going to talk about, I'm going to let this guy talk about the SuperFruits, but just to give you a quick little rundown of them. The SuperFruits are Acai, Mangosteen, Goji, and Noni, and they are what they say they are. Catherine's mom, I don't see her on here anymore, but she was just telling us that she started on Noni. And some people find Noni from Noni or Acai, those are the two big ones, from other sources. And many times they have many other juices in them. So Pure's SuperFruits are only going to have the juice that they say they have in them. And he will go over kind of the benefits of each one. But the last one that you see here that I kind of separated off is Fusion. And Fusion is the 4 of the SuperFruits all mixed into one bottle. So I will play this and we can stop listening to me. Let me know if you cannot hear the video.
Hi, I'm Darren Blackhurst. I'm Director of Product Development and Quality here at Pure. I'm here today to show to you one of our manufacturing facilities. Here, we want to make sure the products you receive are of the greatest quality and are the best in the market. Health professionals recommend that we eat a variety of fruits and vegetables. Some people even say, fill your plate with a rainbow of colors. Reds, purple, orange, yellow, blue. All of these colors actually provide unique nutrients and phytonutrients that are very protective to your health. Generally speaking, we know eating a variety of fruits and vegetables is very important for our health. Unfortunately, most of us don't get adequate amounts of fruits and vegetables from the diet alone. So drinking the superfruit juices helps ensure you're getting the nutrients your body needs to be healthy and strong. The other thing that's very important is why we need the different colors is there's a variety of different, what we call free radicals and substances. In order to fight the free radicals, we need an array of different antioxidants in those fruits and vegetables to give our bodies what it needs to be healthy. A lot of other companies out there, to make their juices taste good, will actually clarify those juices, which means they're stripping a lot of the beneficial nutrients away from that juice, leaving behind mostly sugar, which we know in excess is very detrimental to our health. The superfruit juices that we offer are non-GMO, they're vegan, there's no added preservatives, there's no added sugar, it's just pure juice and nothing else. What I love about the superfruit juices is they provide some very unique and beneficial compounds to your health. These compounds are not going to be found in any other fruit out there available to you. So by taking these specific superfruit juices, you're going to get those benefits that you want, whether it's joint health, cardiovascular health, immune system support. These are great products that you should be taking every single day. Acai is a very unique fruit or berry. It's shaped like a grape, but interestingly, it's about 85% seed. What we want in our juice, or what we have in our juice, is actually the skin and the pulp. And that skin and pulp is very nutritious. It contains beneficial fatty acids, including omega-3, 6, and 9. You may have noticed after pouring a cup of acai that there's these little green globules in your glass. Those are actually the beneficial fats. A lot of other acai products out there in the market will clarify the juice, meaning that these nutrients are stripped from the juice. So with our juice, you're getting nothing but the pure fruit with all of its beneficial nutrients, including its fatty acids. In addition to the beneficial fatty acids, acai berry contains a lot of powerful phytonutrients and antioxidants. In fact, it's these phytonutrients that give the acai berry its deep, dark purple color. Now, studies show that this specific phytonutrient found in acai can help protect the cardiovascular system as well as the brain. You'll often find the acai berry in beauty products. Or if you're very interested in heart and neural protection, then acai berry is also for you. Goji berry is also a unique fruit that is native to China. Traditionally, the goji berry is also known as the happy berry. And that's because the people who consume the goji berry, after they eat it, say that they have feelings of happiness as well as feelings of well-being. This fruit is a bright red-orange color, and this color actually are the phytonutrients unique to the goji berry. Our goji juice also contains a lot of important phytonutrients that help protect and build the body. Those studies have shown recently in human clinical trial that the goji berry can actually help fight fatigue, build endurance, as well as promote feelings of happiness, calmness, and well-being.
Ruh-roh. That's weird.
Mangosteen is another one of our superfruit juices. The fruit is a purple color, and the fleshy portion within the fruit is white. The mangosteen fruit contains some compounds or phytonutrients that are very beneficial to the immune system. These substances actually have an effect called immune modulators or have inflammatory compounds. Now, within the body, we have inflammation going on every day. This is a very normal process within the body. Now, what this product does is it supports the immune system to help keep a proper balance of those immune modulators. This product is really good if you're concerned or you want help in supporting joint health, mobility, and flexibility, as well as if it's important to you to support overall immune health. Noni is a tropical drink that is from the tree Morinda citrifolia. This traditional fruit has a lumpy-like appearance, somewhat like a mango. Some people have compared the odor of the noni fruit to stinky cheese. Now, this particular fruit actually is known as a bitter, and bitters can be very beneficial to digestive health. Traditionally, this fruit is grown in the lava flows of the Polynesian islands, like Samoa. Traditionally, this fruit has been used to help treat infrequent digestive upset or indigestion.
You need phytonutrients within this fruit that offers these benefits. Some people say the taste is an acquired taste, but once you start seeing the benefits of drinking the juice, you want to drink it on a frequent basis.
Pure Fusion is one of our superfruit juices that's actually a combination of all of those superfruit juices. So that includes acai, noni, goji, and mangosteen. So if you're looking for all of the benefits from the superfruit juices, this is a great product for you. Now, if you're looking for the specific benefits of those superfruit juices,
we recommend that you use that specific superfruit juice. Fusion is what we call a maintenance superfruit juice. So it's a combination of all the superfruit juices into one product. This is a great product to take on a daily basis for maintaining those benefits of the superfruit juice.
Okay, sorry, there's somebody who's trying to get in who hasn't been able to get in. Okay, so the superfruits are, I think, awesome and a really great 100% way to say, look, God made this fruit. It grows up out of the ground. We're just going to take it and it's going to help our health. I'm going to go through them really quick, but acai, he talked about it being the beauty berry and good for the heart. It is the only thing that I can think of, and maybe Catherine, you can correct me, that naturally has omega-3, and I guess flaxseed has the omegas in it. But for a fruit to have fatty acids in it, it's pretty awesome, I think. And like he said, I see acai juice at Costco all the time, so I'll stop and look at it. Most of the time it's clear. It doesn't have the lumpiness in it. Most of the time it has apple juice as the #1 ingredient. Acai, there's a challenge that people will do with Pure where they get the 4-pack of acai and they'll take 6 ounces a day until they finish the 4-pack. And what they find is this is for mothers who are going through that postpartum hair loss time. And most of the time they will get little sprouts of hairs by the time that they're done with their 4-pack. And so regrowing of hair is huge. A lot of women will get that hair that grows like right here, and then they can't seem to grow any more hair. And or they'll get kind of a plateau of hair growth, and doing that challenge once again will help their hair grow longer and stronger. Goji berry is the next one that he talked about. I know I've got that and mangosteen mixed on my list, but goji berry, he talked about being the happy berry. There was a study with the goji berry, and it's detoxifying effects, if you will. They drew somebody's blood. There were high levels of mercury, I think it was some sort of heavy metal. And they, this person then was put on goji berry protocol, basically, where they took 2 ounces 3 times a day, just like the acai challenge. And within a couple of days, the heavy metal toxicity in their blood was not even detectable. And so goji, I always think of it as kind of the it cleans things up, because many times they talk about take goji berry to detoxify the liver. Take goji berry. It's one that when I first started and I had my consultation, I was saying, hey, we're struggling with fertility. Goji berry was high on the list of things that I needed to be taking, because it does help with hormone health, because it helps in the liver. Mangosteen is the next one. Mangosteen, I always think of the anti-inflammatory. It helps with joint health and just any sort of pains that you're having, but then also it does help with the immune system. Noni is the last one, and like you talked about, so acai tastes fine, but it's got the little chunks in it, so it's not the greatest by itself. Goji tastes really good. Mangosteen tastes really good. Noni tastes terrible. I'm not even going to beat around the bush. It tastes so bad. And like he talked about, when they played this video in our big group with Pure, everybody was like, it smells and tastes like stinky feet. And I was like, that sounds like it. And so you're sitting here like, why do you take it if it smells like stinky feet? But in fact, I can actually get my son to take noni when I mix all of the SuperFruits together. And so the taste is really easily hideable. Noni, a lot of people use it for heartburn. Many people will do kind of a noni challenge also whenever they get stomach upset. In indigenous countries, they use noni kind of similar to the way that we use Pepto-Bismol. And so, nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea, you could use it for all of it. But it's also been proven to get rid of parasites. And I hope nobody's squeamish, because I'm going to tell a story. I had been out of noni and most of the SuperFruits for a little while, and I thought, well, it's been a while, I should probably start taking that again. And whenever I do the SuperFruits, my son likes to climb up on his chair and help me pour them out, and he likes to pick out which colors are going to go in his drink. And we had been doing that for a couple of days, and he goes potty on his own little potty. And he had a bowel movement. And Catherine, have I told you this story yet? I did. Okay. So he had a bowel movement, and I was going to go flush it down the toilet. And I thought, what in tarnation is that? And so I got my medical gloves on, and it looked like a piece of ribbon. It was white. It was about this long. And I got my gloves out, and I thought maybe it's just like he ate something, or maybe it was a piece of something in the toilet. But no, it fit the description to the T of the textbook of what a tapeworm looks like and felt like. I couldn't break it apart, and it felt like a ribbon, like a flat ribbon. And I have no doubt in my mind that that's what it was. And he had just started taking noni again. And I truly believe that the noni helped him pass it, because a couple of days later in my own bowel movement, I saw a very similar structure. And I didn't examine that one, but I truly believe that both of us had been infected and are now cured. So that story of what my son and I went through is not few and far between with noni. It's pretty shocking, actually, how many Americans have parasites. And within the Pure community, it's pretty common for people to start taking noni and say, I noticed X, Y, or Z in my bowel movement. And you would never know that you had those things until after you had passed them, thanks to noni helping you pass them. So sorry for those of you who are squeamish, but I think it's important to talk about. So, okay. The next thing we're going to talk about is the GPS line. This guy, I am going to play his video. He talks really fast, so I'm just warning you. I'm going to give you a quick kind of rundown because he does talk so fast about the GPS line. The GPS line is something that I didn't use for a long time when I first started Pure because I was not working out, and I thought, well, why would you use it? But there really is something for everybody when the Adapt that's up there helps to blunt cortisol absorption in the body. So when your adrenals put off cortisol, then your other cells take it in and they, kind of freak out because of it. And Adapt will blunt that response. So we can all imagine how Adapt would be helpful for us because literally we all endure stress in our life. Circulate is actually very good at lowering blood pressure. And so we use that in people who want to get off of their blood pressure medications. What it does is it relaxes the blood vessels. And so in a sports setting, it's helpful because it will help to deliver more blood to the muscles. Energize is a physical energy. I always tell people that like Mike every morning gets up and takes Energize, Circulate, and Adapt. He doesn't go and work out. He actually goes and works a laborious job. He works in the tractor and moves stuff and fixes stuff and walks around the resort all day. And so moms could use Energize because you're up, you're putting your kid, you're picking them up, putting them down, picking them up, putting them down. Hydrate is just healthy Gatorade. It's not full of sugar and it's got a couple of B vitamins. It's fine for kids of all ages. So especially if kids have some sort of GI distress and you want them to have like a Pedialyte, Hydrate would be what you would really want to reach for because Pedialyte has a lot of junk in it. Rebuild is a protein shake that people can use after a workout to, build more muscle and not tear it down so much. Mike takes a Rebuild at the end of his day. And I've heard of a lot of people who take Rebuild and the whole GPS line, if they are, say, they work at UPS or they deliver the mail, or one gal, her husband works at Amazon and packs boxes and lifts box all day. And so that's where you can really utilize the GPS line, or if your husband is like a farmer or you're a farmer, that's a good way to utilize it. And then Reset is the one that you take right before bed at night, and it is a strong anti-inflammatory. It helps to, again, blunt that cortisol level that you may get from working out or having stress. And it helps you sleep, it helps you fall asleep, but it also helps to increase human growth hormone, HGH, naturally with something called holy basil. So Reset is something that I take every single night before I go to bed, and it helps you get a deeper sleep. But then also when you wake up, HGH does help you with energy throughout the day. I will play this. This is going to be the last video. I think we've got time, don't we? Yes, we do. Good. Oh, this is my 11-minute video.
Hey everybody, my name is Steve Michael.
We don't have time for that, and I'm going to keep us on time. So the couple things that I didn't say that he talks about is that the GPS line is Informed Sports Certified. And what that means is there's no banned substances in it. So a lot of Olympic athletes actually take GPS, but it also means that what is on the bottle is in the bottle, and what's in the bottle is on the bottle. So you're not going to find any, things that show up. My example of this is probably about 6 months ago, they pulled the Fruit Punch Hydrate off of the line. And we found out a couple weeks later that they found that there was an artificial flavor in the Fruit Punch flavor. And they found that through their third-party verification. And so they pulled it, and they pulled that batch, and until they got a new batch, we just didn't have Fruit Punch Hydrate. And so I think that that's really important. Yeah, any questions about the GPS line? Do we want to play that 12-minute video? I think we're running out of time, don't you think, Catherine?
Yeah, I mean, we can play it or leave it open for a Q&A. We like to keep it to a half hour, but we did start a little bit later. We can
did
always send the video to folks too if they want.
That's true. We can always send it. I like that idea. If people want to listen to the video, we can send it. Now that I played it, it won't.
Yes.
Maybe. Aha. Okay. Okay. So now we're gonna get into the packs. The one that I always start with is the big Be Fulfilled pack. This pack should last you about 3 months. I always say it's the one that Mike and I share together, and it lasts us about 3 months. It is $21 a day. So if we go back and think about what I had talked about, of you can either invest in your health or you can pay for it later. $21 a day is not that bad. The ticket price on this is $1,900, and that will scare people. But when you think about it on a per daily basis, it's really not any more expensive than medication would be. You can see the list of what that comes with there. It is your complete overhaul on health. You're not missing out on anything here. I do like to point out that it has, the vanilla and the chocolate shake in both vegan and regular, so you can really try everything out. It's got both flavors of Hydrate. It's got, all the different flavors, so you can really switch back and forth if you're kind of the picky type. The next one is the Be Healthy pack. This is a 1 month, 1 person overhaul. So you can see that you get a little bit less for free because it's $23 per day. The sticker price is $700. And you get 1 bottle of every single one of the SuperFruits plus 2 bottles of the Goji, so you can take 2 ounces a day. You get the daily build. You get 2 of those. You get the calcium, which we didn't talk about, but we did talk about last week if you want to know more about that. And you do get your sulfur with that. You do not get the GPS line with the Be Healthy, but you do with the Be Fulfilled. So if that's something that you're interested in, I really do encourage you. Most people who get into Pure will start with the next pack, which is the Core Plus, and then go back and say, I wish I would have started with the Be Fulfilled, because you get so much more for free with the Be Fulfilled. This is the next one, the Core Plus. This is the one that I really try to encourage everybody to start with, because you get the sulfur, the calcium K plus, which is your nighttime multivitamin. That one also helps you sleep. And you get the Mila. Mila is the fiber supplement that Pure suggests. So between the cleanse and the fiber supplement, you should have no problems with bowel movements. And the Mila also has essential fatty acids in it, so it's going to help you focus, along with the energy that helps you focus. So this one will really help you with energy, moodiness, among many other things. It's also got the sulfur, which we talked about, does literally everything. So the last one is the one that I personally started with, and I wish I would have gone for at least the Core Plus. But it has your cleanse, balance, and build plus energy. It is $4.50 a day, which I think that we can all agree is worth it. That's a lot. That's giving up your latte. It's $140, and it should last you 30 days. So I want everybody to really think about what you spend on technology. Those things last me about a year or 2. How much do you spend on your vehicle? And how much are you going to invest in your health, this body that God gave you that you cannot replace, like you get to replace your tablet, your computer, and your car? Okay. And then lastly, I do think we can play this video. I was not going to load this, and then I was like, I should load this video just in case. I think we've got time for it. I think this is the one that I was thinking was 5 minutes. 3. See, there we go.
Hi, I'm Dr. Tanya Rogers, a member of the Wellness Advisory Board at Pure. Pure was founded with a passionate purpose to deliver whole health. One way we deliver whole health is through providing people with safe, effective, top-of-the-line products to support their personal health goals. We are devoted to empowering others to become the best versions of themselves. Designed for convenience and everyday use, our products are created for excellence and effectiveness from the best nature and science have to offer. We offer quality without compromise and strive to always create products formulated to deliver compelling benefits and results. The Pure product philosophy is built upon the avoidance of artificial dyes, colors, flavors, sweeteners, and other potentially harmful ingredients. Ingredients Pure selects for inclusion are natural, derived from natural sources, or made through natural processes. Our products do not contain genetically modified organisms or GMOs. Did you know that 7 products by Pure are listed in the Prescriber's Digital Reference, or PDR? Formerly known as the Physician's Desk Reference, the PDR is the most widely used reference for drug listings, with a separate section for dietary supplements, and is found in virtually every physician's office, hospital, and pharmacy in the United States. In the PDR, you'll find Go Yin, Daily Build, Cleanse, Energy, Daily Detox, Metabolic 1, and Pure Excel. It's exciting to be part of such a prestigious, well-respected publication in the medical community, and the inclusion of these products gives Pure an additional boost in the scientific community and helps strengthen your position as an exclusive leader in the distribution of products by Pure. Additionally, all of our GPS products boast the Trusted Informed Sport certification. If you are an elite or amateur athlete, a coach, a nutritionist, or anyone who faces drug testing, you can be assured that Adapt, Circulate, Energize, Hydrate, Rebuild, and Reset have been informed, sport tested, and are free of banned substances. The Informed Sport program was developed to minimize the risk of banned substance contamination within sports supplement products. In addition to the power of our Core 4 foundation, Pure adheres to the highest standards by always using honest ingredients and labeling on all of our products. Pure bases the development of our entire product line on real science, not just fluff. We are a true health and wellness company that offers quality products, free of gimmicks or false claims. You might wonder, where does Pure plan to go in the future? Well, the options are endless. Pure, or People United, reaching everyone, will continue to find real, nature-based solutions for health and wellness, standing by its passionate commitment to deliver whole health around the world.
I think that's great. And one thing that I just wanted to say that she kind of touched on was nature-based. I was reading an article about selenium, and they were posturing that selenium, too much of it is not actually a possible thing. However, if you take synthetic selenium, that can cause cancerous tumors, which is what anyway, that's what the medical community will say about selenium. If you take too much of it, is that it can cause these fatty tumors, which can turn cancerous over time. However, they've never seen that if it's a natural food-based selenium. It's only in chemical synthetic selenium. So I think that that's just one example of why it's so important to always go back to nature, back what God gave us, grows up out of the ground. Let's go back to that and we will all be fully healthy. So I want to open it up to questions. Let me unmute everybody. Catherine, did you have anything to add?
No, I mean I love all those presentations. I feel like you did an excellent job filling in the gaps there. Yeah.
May have watched them a time or two. Does anybody have any questions? Debbie said, thank you. I think one question that I will answer that I get all the time about sulfur is how do you start on sulfur? So with sulfur, with the dosing up, I always recommend that you start with 1 tablet, even though the bottle says take 3 capsules twice a day. That's our goal. That's where we're headed. That's what you want to get up to, but I always recommend starting with 1 tablet in the morning on an empty stomach for 3 days. And then if you take too much of it to start with, you may get a headache or diarrhea. And we want to avoid that. So then if you haven't gotten a headache or diarrhea after 3 days, then go to 2 tablets in the morning for 3 days, and then 3 tablets in the morning for 3 days, and continue that until you get to what the bottle is asking you to do 3 tablets twice a day. Debbie has been telling us about her noni, and she took noni earlier today, and her heartburn that she normally has is just gone. And she just said that she was eating dinner, her heartburn came back, so she took another 30 cc's, which is about an ounce, right, Catherine? For us not in the medical world, I think 30 cc's is about an ounce. And
Oh,
anyway,
yeah.
yeah.
Sorry.
And she said that her heartburn is already gone. So that's definitely one of the main things with noni is heartburn. I love, yeah, it's great for heartburn. The other thing that's really good for heartburn is the calcium K+.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm trying to think of any other questions. For the SuperFruits, most of the time we recommend that people start on 2 ounces per day. And for whatever problem that they're trying to treat, then, you know, go up from there. And if they, for example, let's say it's hair loss or something that they're trying to treat, if that problem does go away, then we recommend that you go down to the 1 ounce per day, and then you can try and go off of it if you want to, or you can stay at a maintenance 1 ounce per day. So if you do get the fusion, you need to take 4 ounces per day to get the maintenance dose of the 1 ounce of each. That makes sense?
Mhm.
Okay. That just helps you determine how much you need to buy, because a lot of people will just buy 1 bottle of fusion and within a week they're saying, oh, I'm out. So
It's interesting, like the daily build, it has literally everything you need. So I feel like a lot of us, or what I used to do, is that you buy vitamin C, you buy vitamin D, you buy your whatever, vitamin X, Y, Z. And then so now you have 4 bottles of supplements you're taking every day. And it's like, if you look at the back of Daily Build, it has all those in there. Like you're getting all your vitamin C you need, you're getting all your zinc, you're getting all your selenium, you're getting your, but you know, everything. And so a lot, and I hate to bring this up, but I'm going to, we need, especially going into the fall and winter, spring, flu, COVID, whatever. I think it behooves us to understand what we can do to better our own health, to be able to fight these viruses. You know, we need to build up our own immune system so that we can be healthy and well this season. And I feel like that's like my life mission right now, is to spread that word instead of, whatever, I just go on and on and on, but we have that responsibility that we can take for ourselves and eat well and avoid seed oils, avoiding, and Daily Build is an excellent example of one thing you can do every day that can really, really help your immune system.
yes. I agree. And, you know, I have to say one thing, and I know that you noticed a huge difference. You know, I was very much so like you, and I had a bottle of vitamin C, and I had zinc, and I had a multivitamin too. And when I started taking Daily Build, and still to this day, you know, I missed my Daily Build a couple of days ago. And the next day I was like, holy buckets, what happened? I feel like I got hit by a train. And I'm like, I think I forgot my Daily Build yesterday. And I cannot believe that to this day, I can still tell the days that I missed my Daily Build. It's always the next day. Like it's never that day. It's always the next day that I can tell. And never before with my 500 bottles of vitamin C and vitamin blah, 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 could I tell you if I was taking it or if I had gone weeks without taking it. There was no difference. And I think that that just really goes back to the nature made, like your body actually knows what to do with it versus many, many, many of those other, you know, 5 bottles that you take. They don't do much of anything. What was I? I was going to say something about the Daily Builds. I don't remember what it was. Oh, well, I just love Catherine is, you know, I'm just going to say a little behind me in the pure journey. That doesn't negate that she has a lot more knowledge about me on a lot of other things. But I just love multiple times in the last month or two, she'll Marco Polo me and say, so I was reading about this today, and does any of the Pure products have that? I don't know. And I'm like, well, did you look at Daily Build? Because that's always my like best guess, you know.
Enter your window.
And then we both pull it up and it's like, oh look, it's got it, like almost always hands down. There's been a couple of times that I know when I first started that I was like reading up about like, oh, this herb, turmeric, we should all be on turmeric. Turmeric is so great. And then you go and look and you're like, oh look, it's in Daily Builds.
Yeah.
Yeah, almost always. So
Can I hear a moment, please?
well, if we don't have any more questions, Catherine, I may let you tell your most recent success story of your client that started on the Detox Pack.
Yeah, so I have a client who's in 2 weeks into the Detox Pack, which is a 28-day regimen that really overhauls your gut health, your immune health. It tackles your inflammation and it balances your hormones and your mood, and it builds you up so that you're, you know, you're like restarted in a way. Anyway, she's 2 weeks on, and I always check in on her because she's 64 years old. And so I'm always checking on her, and she's like, and I'm like, hey, you know, what are the wins this week? And she goes, you know what? I don't have any joint pain. I was like, what? And so she's like, yeah, I don't have any joint pain anymore. And I just was floored. I was so happy for her. Like, so that just happened, what, 2 nights ago when I checked in with her. But she's feeling a whole lot better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Detox Pack is detoxification, but it really does have a goal of weight loss. So yeah. All right. Well, do you have anything else, Catherine?
No.
All right. Well, we'll hop off. Let me look. I was looking. The next Thursday that we are looking at doing this, I think, is Thanksgiving. Yeah. So do you want to do it 1 week from now and then do 2 weeks, or do you want to do 3 weeks in between? What do you think?
Let's do probably 3. Let's give it 3.
Okay, so December 3rd will be our next class. Yay.
Perfect. Thanks, Valerie.
Yes, thank you for everybody who hopped on. I will upload the replay if anybody's curious in it, probably within the next 24 hours. And yeah, let me know if you have any questions.
All right, bye.
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 So what'd you buy?